Welcome to Amblers Anonymous. Thank you for joining us on this amble through Bilston and later on another brief amble through Wolverhampton. Filmed on Sunday the 11th of December 2022. Bilston, of course, is well known for being the murder capital of the Midlands for about 3 years running. Bilstoners have always been very, very proud of the achievements of their little town. Approaching here we have the Trumpet pub, which has live jazz 7 days a week. If you fancy being tortured, pop down to the Trumpet. Noddy Holder from Slade used to drink there on a Sunday lunchtime, listen to a bit of jazz. Over the road from the Trumpet we have the Sir Henry Newbold, which is a Wetherspoons pub where you can get inebriated very cheaply and eat some really terrible food, get food poisoning. It's quite a famous Wetherspoons. It went viral online with a video of a horse being in there. Some fella just decided to take his horse for a pint, and it was quite funny. Just there on the left we have the job centre, which is where a lot of people from Bilston go at least once a fortnight. Once they've been and signed on, it's just an easy stroll up to the Sir Henry Newbold for a pint or two. Got some nice Christmas lights going on there. The same Christmas lights that Bilston's had for the last 20 years, I think. I'm having to walk quite slowly through this snow. It's very slippy. Normally when you walk through Bilston, you like to walk as quickly as possible to get out of the way of potential muggers, rapists, social workers and so on. On the right here you'll see a couple of shops that are actually open quite late on a Sunday night. These shops exist to sell single cigarettes to small children. More properties to let by Michael Tromans. He owns the majority of Wolverhampton. Nice chap. He likes a whiskey. You can't make it out, but there's a big Morrison's supermarket just down there. Interesting, isn't it? This is the main part of the high street where you'll see quite a few people on mobility scooters. Not because they're disabled or anything, just purely because they're too fat to be able to walk. Bert Turner was a mayor of Wolverhampton, passed away in 2015. That little patch of, well, I don't know what's under the snow normally, but that little patch of whatever it is has been named Bert Turner Boulevard in his honour. Bilston's actually very fond of Bert's. It has Bert Williams Leisure Centre as well. It's got a swimming pool, a gym, various fitness classes. It's quite a good facility actually. So yeah, I wasn't even joking when earlier I said that Bilston was the murder capital of the Midlands. It really was for about 3 years on the trot, taking over from Lazelle's in Birmingham. It's a shame really. It's not a very safe place to be. Bilston isn't. Lots of stabbings, a few shootings, a lot of sexual assaults, muggings and so on. It is a shame. The majority of people you meet in Bilston are proper salt of the earth people. really nice people. So it's quite a sad accolade. Can you call it an accolade, being the murder capital of the Midlands? It's quite sad. On the bright side, there's a Heron's Foods, so you can get Finder's crispy pancakes if you really want to torture your children. There's a couple of chavs on the right, having a bit of a kickabout in the snow. Hopefully not on their way to stab anyone, or to be stabbed. Stay safe, chavs. And there's a nice little Christmas tree. Looks a lot like a butt plug. Not that I have first-hand experience of what a butt plug looks like. It's what I imagine it looks like, minus the lights. Bilston Market is actually quite well known throughout the Midlands as being one of the best small town markets there is. The comedian Tom Stade actually did a routine about Bilston. He lived in Bilston for a short time, and he did a joke about the meat van there. So that's good. I gave Tom Stade a lift from one gig to another. The one night we took him from Tipton Community Centre to Handsworth Rugby Club. Nice chap. I hope this woman doesn't think that I'm purposely following her. I mean, it must be a bit disconcerting for her. Some big bloke behind her, following close by, trudging through the snow. I'm not interested though. I'm interested in showing you this little side road. It's called Homer's Fold, which is a name that always makes me laugh. Sadly, just a few nights back, 2 lads were stabbed there. Bilston being Bilston. And thankfully they're still alive, but they've still had to go through the trauma of being stabbed. She just looked back, didn't she? She looked back to see if I was still following. I'm still following you, love. You know, run. Run before I get you. Look at the name of this shop, Dentures Direct. That's how you want them, isn't it? You want them direct into your mouth. You don't want them to come at you at an angle, do you? And there's Major's Chippy, the famous Major's Chippy, where orange chips were first made. They're quite tasty, the chips are, but they're very greasy. They always give me a dodgy tummy. Send me straight to the toilet. As soon as I've swallowed a Major's chip, that's it, it comes out the other end. Danny from Rate My Takeaway gave Major's a solid 10. Well, I didn't get a solid 10 the last time I had some chips there. It was anything but solid. You always have to have a can of ginger beer or Dr. Pepper or something when you're eating Major's chips, just to try and remove the film of grease from the roof of your mouth. Bilston bus station's just down there. It's quite a good bus station actually. Serves a very good purpose in getting you out of Bilston. A traveller was stabbed to death outside Major's Chippy. He'd been in the pub opposite and obviously pissed somebody off in there. And the town hall, Bilston Town Hall's just up here on the left. Someone was stabbed to death there at a wedding. And there's a place called Malone's directly opposite it where someone was stabbed to death. But here's Bilston Central. It's a tram stop. There's a nice view of the track. I'm having to lean over the wall a bit here, so see if I can go around and get a better view. There's another reason for going down this road as well, which I'll show you in a moment. Let's see if I can get a better view at the top of the stairs here. No, it's exactly the same view as from over the wall. It's just some tracks with snow. So this little side road here has got one of the jewels of Bilston at the top of it. Bilston has 3 jewels, maybe 4. You could count Major's Chippy as one of the jewels of Bilston. The trumpet as well, if you like jazz. There's the Robin, which is a really good music venue, especially if you like tribute bands. And then there's this little thing here tucked away. It's the back room at Cafe Metro. Quite a nice little pub, tucked away from anywhere. Yeah, me and the missus are going to go in and have a drink. And I'm trying to film inside the little snug area of the pub, but I just can't get the hang of this bloody camera. It's a DJI Osmo Pocket, and I've got one of these wheels with it now to try and help with tilting it up and down. But look at the meal I'm making of this. What am I even filming? There's my finger. Absolutely useless. Great pub though. If you do ever find yourself in Bilston, definitely pop in, have a look, have a nice beer. So the following night we decided to take the tram into Wolverhampton, have a few drinks and a bite to eat. Wolverhampton's not the place it used to be. I remember back in the 80s, even the early 90s, it was just such a happening place. All the shops were open. It was vibrant. People would come from all over the place to do their shopping in Wolverhampton. It was well known for it. And the nightlife was really good too. I've had some great nights out in Wolverhampton in the late 80s and early 90s, showing my age there. But it's just like a fraction of what it used to be. Half the shops are closed. There's places to eat and drink, but not half as many as there used to be. I mean, this is a Monday night that we're here, so we're not expecting much to be open. But yeah, we thought we'd bring you along for a quick stroll. Oh look, there's R2-D2's brother. With a nice little red band around his head. So this is the main high street. To the right we've got Marks and Spencer. They threaten that with closure, but it's still open. To the left we've got an entrance to the Manda Centre, where half the shops have been closed for about the last 15 bloody years. It's a shame when you consider what the town used to be. Well, I say town, it's actually a city now. It's got city status, but it's still a town. It doesn't look like a city, does it? Look at the buildings. The buildings are nowhere near tall enough for this to be referred to as a city. And what kind of city has a shop called Miss Italia? It's very disappointing. There's supposed to be some investment made, but investors keep pulling out. Real shame. It's the city of my birth, and I really do want to be proud of it, but there's not a lot to be proud of at the moment. Let's go in here. Ooh. Yeah, we had a drink and a bite to eat at the Lupo Lounge. Actually a really nice venue. Very happy that that was open as well. There's a Holland and Barrett where you can buy really expensive alternative medicines that don't work. Medicines are only called alternative medicines until they're proven to work, and then they're just medicines, aren't they? Here's a McDonald's. I'm not really a fan of McDonald's. I like the breakfast. I do like me a nice double sausage and egg McMuffin. The coffees are nice, but the rest of the food, absolutely dreadful. It's emergency food, isn't it? You go there when you have no other choice. I'll put it just slightly ahead of Wetherspoons. If you want a decent burger, you go to Five Guys, don't you? Sadly, there isn't a Five Guys in Wolverhampton. There's another entrance to the Manda Centre. There's a side road. There's quite a nice bar down there called the Grain Store. That's worth checking out if you're in Wolverhampton. There's a Greggs. You got to have a Greggs. Can't beat their steak bakes. So just up here is a fountain. It's not on at the moment, but oh, excuse the noisy Spaniard there on his Bluetooth. Yeah, the fountains there usually only come on when there's toddlers running around. Great place to sit if you want to see toddlers getting drowned. It's hilarious. That's a nice Christmas tree, isn't it? Doesn't look anything like a butt plug. Just here on the right is a famous statue in Wolverhampton, the man on the horse. The man on the horse, where goths meet up during the daytime to compare self-harm scars. It was often said that the person who sculpted it, Thomas Thornycroft, committed suicide because he'd got the positioning of the legs wrong, but it's all a lie. He didn't commit suicide. He didn't really give a shit if the legs were wrong or not. Took his money and ran. Looks a bit weird, doesn't he? Don't know what those characters are. There's R2-D2's brother again with his red headband. Nice to see you again, mate. We'll pop over to this little area here. There's a couple of bars that I really like in Wolverhampton, so I'm hoping that they're going to be open. Big Beatty's Superstore used to be there just at the top left, but that's closed down now. There's a nice pub down there, rock pub called the Gifford, down on the left there. That's worth a visit if you're into your rock. The Slug and Lettuce there on the right, or the Slag and Lettuce. Used to be Yates's. It was much better when it was Yates's. I mean, you did have more chance of catching chlamydia, and that's just from eating the food. And typical. The two bars I really like are both shut. One's called the North Street Social, very nice quirky bar, and the other is called the Dog and Doublet. I'd show you how good they are if they were bloody open. So we're walking back up towards the top of the town. Nice festoon lights on the tree. I love festoon lights. I'm obsessed with festoon lights. Must get some festoon lights. There's a bank on the left. Or is it a building society? NatWest or something like that. This little nicely lit building here is the Parisian. Not a bad bar, but it's closed, as you can see. Further down there on the left there is a lap dancing bar, so I've been told. There used to be a good bar next to it as well called the Cuban Exchange, but that's closed down now. Real shame. And we've got some policemen loitering around on the right there. This area here, Lichgates, there's a pub here called the Lichgate. And if we look up there, there's the church, St. Peter's. Really quite a nice church. I'm an atheist, so I don't really go to church, but I do like some of these gothic-y churches. They're fantastic. Shall we go in for a pint at the Lichgate? Nah, can't be bothered. Shall we go down there? Don't know, not sure. Yeah, we decided to go down there. At the side of St. Peter's. You can just about see the silhouette of the council buildings there to the left. Quite a nice little walkway this is. Never really met any dodgy characters along here. Sure, it's only a matter of time. Or perhaps I am the dodgy character that walks through there. Looking down across the way there, the back of the Slug and Lettuce, and the other side of those buildings, the Civic Hall will soon be reopened after being shut for seemingly decades. Don't know why I'm tilting up to show you this detail of the church in the dark. Can't see anything. Now I'm struggling to bring the camera down to where I want it to be, because I'm absolutely useless with this DJI Osmo Pocket thing. There's the back of the statue of Lady Wolfruna there in silhouette. Lady Wolfruna obviously gave her name to the city of Wolverhampton. It was Wolfrunahampton for a while, and then got shortened to Wolverhampton. Actually has nothing to do with the animal, the wolf. It's just some bitch with a weird name. That's why they call people from Wolverhampton Wolfrunians. It's either Wolfrunians or something a bit less tasteful. I've got to walk down these stairs very slowly now because they're a bit icy. I don't really want to go flying. I like these lamps. These street lamps, they're really nice. Well, lamps at the side of the church anyway. Really nice. That's the side of the church. You can't see anything. Don't know why I'm even bothering to show you. Maybe I'll film it in the daytime. To the left here is the Arena Theatre. It used to be Wolverhampton Polytechnic many years ago, but the Arena Theatre has been there for a long time. I can remember seeing a performance artist rubbing some tomato ketchup up his anus in that building. People just seemed so impressed by it. I was stifling my laughter, and a couple of people who noticed I was having a giggle about it just looked at me like I was some kind of cultureless arsehole, you know. I'm not the naked fella rubbing tomato ketchup up my arse. Side of the art gallery. It's a very nice art gallery actually in Wolverhampton. Seen some really good exhibitions there. So down here on the right is a really good student bar called the Royal London. Definitely recommend it. Nice cheap drinks if you're a student. Good music. Decent atmosphere. Highly recommended. You do get some old folk like me in there as well every now and then. There it is there on the right. Quite a big place. Seen some good bands in there as well. There's the Hogshead, that's where we're going to go for a drink now. So here's our drink. We're in a nice little snug area in the Hogshead. Decent pub, sports bar. Quizzes on a Thursday. And I'll leave it there. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.